And we have with us today Keith Weatherford. He was nominated by Renee Sturgeon. Both are here this morning. Keith, congratulations.
Thank you.
And he listens every day, Rep. He's one of the guys that said he listens every day, and we certainly that is a prerequisite. If you don't listen, you don't get named honor event. You've got to listen to this feeble tip.
It helps.
You got to listen to this very feeble tip at Radio Brilliance. I read some of what Renee wrote down. The one thing that caught my eye: 22-year veteran,
yes, sir,
and 11 deployments,
yes, sir,
from machine gunner in the Middle East, counter drug operations
in Panama. Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask the first question, and I ask this of all: what motivated you to want to be in the armed forces?
Well, I wasn't a very good student. My grandfather did it. My dad was in the military. Like I said, I wasn't a very good student, and I wasn't very good looking. So I figured I better do something, that I was smart enough to get into, and I went in the Air Force, and it all took off from there. Okay,
let me ask you this: what about being in the military made you a better person? You folks are impressive when you come in here. You got your feces consolidated, if you know what I mean, and I always respect and admire that. But what about being a veteran has made you a better person?
I think it's just the discipline and the respect you gain for all walks of life in the military. I mean, it's not a me, type of career. It's a team environment, and that's what you get used to after 20 years of doing it. I mean, so it's easy, to come back home and merge in with a team of people versus, watching out for number one.
But I would imagine in 22 years, and you can talk as much or as little about this as you'd like, it's not always been good. There have probably been some tragedies that you've had to deal with.
I mean, divorced almost twice. I got, when I was in Iraq, we lost 7 guys over there. That was pretty painful, and it still, to this day, it still sticks with me, and I'm going to get a tribute tattoo for those guys. But I mean, I missed Christmases. I missed my son. He'll be 25 this year. I missed most of his life, him growing up, because I was gone all the time. You miss things. I mean, like being around here, people say, remember this in Florence? And I say, no, because I don't. I don't remember. I'm from Darlington, and like I said, I left right out of high school and was gone. Came back, and not much has changed in Darlington, but Florence grew up. And people say, remember where this place was? And I say, no, I don't, because I wasn't here. And you just miss time with family, and it's like you leave at 18, you come back at 40, and it's like it's a flash. It doesn't seem like it at the time, but it's a flash. And now we're all older, and you have regrets. But
let me ask you this, okay? Counter drug. How do you go from doing counter drug operations to being a machine gunner? I get the 11 deployments, and I get the versatility of skill, and you got to do what is needed to be done.
Right.
But are those interests of yours, or is that kind of where Uncle Sam said, you look like you could do this, so go over there and do that?
They kind of look at your background, your skill set, and say, okay, we need somebody for this. Depends on your rank and where you are along your professional development, which they do care about. Not necessarily college right off, but professional development for your career field. So depending on the career field and what's available, they'll say, okay, well, we're going to send you down to Panama as an 18-year-old. And that's what it did with me.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a weird question, and I don't know any of the way. I've always wondered this. So when you're a machine gunner in the Middle East, you have an incredibly powerful weapon in your hand.
Yes, sir.
You're representing the United States.
Yes, sir.
There's a responsibility with that. I mean, it's not just, I know some of the movies glorify and glamorize some of this stuff, but that is an awesome responsibility that you're holding a weapon that powerful on behalf of really the people in this room, all American citizens.
Right. And it's definitely a scary responsibility, because there's an escalation of force that you have to think about whenever stuff's going on around you. And it kind of, it graduates up to, do I pull the trigger on this machine gun or not? And it happens in a split second. So yeah, I mean, it's a huge responsibility. I mean, you could really, you had life and death. I mean, you are the Reaper.
Keith, how do you like being home?
I love it.
Do you really?
I do. I work as a network administrator for Darlington County School District. We got a great team over there, and I don't have to worry about anybody trying to blow me up or kill me on a regular basis. So, it's great. I love being home.
If we go to a Democrat rally, we'll carry him with us, and we know we'll be taken care of and in good hands. Because my strategy's always been run.
Right.
I mean, my strategy is a little uncertain. Just run as hard as you can.
You just have to run faster than me.
Faster than, that's exactly right. Keith, we appreciate you. Renee, appreciate you nominating. And I want to say it again. I mean, I'm always humbled. And you look, I'm a country boy, but I tear up in a minute. And I see some of these people and some of these stories, and I just realize how many lives were impacted so I could live this cool existence. And I know I'm redundant when I say that. And Keith's not the only one. I mean, he told other stories about people whose lives were discontinued. I mean, they lost their lives serving this country. And look, we live in this hyper-partisan age. You know, Republicans argue with Democrats, and Democrats argue with Republicans. Are we going to be socialist or not? Is Trump too nasty for the White House? Let's not forget, as Americans, who ultimately makes this country great. And it's the people who have had and will sacrifice whatever necessary to make sure we continue to, in my humble opinion, be the greatest country on the planet Earth. Not only are we going to say thank you, we've got some cool gifts, Keith, for you and some sponsors who stepped up and want to say thank you as much as we do.
A little staycation in Florence, if you will. We have a night at Hotel Florence in downtown. Also dinner for two at Texas Roadhouse. We have a nice gift bag courtesy of Pepsi of Florence and some virtual golf courtesy of the 19th Green Indoor Golf Center. All this made possible by our sponsors, the title sponsors, McLaughlin Ford, PD Electric Co-op, Pepsi of Florence, Heinz Furniture of Sumter, and our supporting sponsors, FTC of Sumter and Boykin Air Conditioning Services.
And we really appreciate our sponsors, and more than anything, Keith, we appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.